What's up guys, and welcome on back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. Today's video, as we can see, is going to be all about my debt, and that means we are doing a debt snowball update. And I have a story to tell you guys about Great Lakes. So if you are interested in seeing my progress between one month to the next, then of course just keep on watching. All right, so this is my debt tracker. For anybody who is not familiar, I like to come in every month and fill out my debt to see my progress between each month. If you are new here, this channel focuses on me getting a handle on my finances, and that includes me budgeting with the cash envelope system and eliminating my debt with the Debt Snowball Method. So if that sounds like something you would be into, then go ahead, click that subscribe button, join the family. We would love to have you. So now that we know everything that we're doing, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so when it comes to my debt tracker, this is available within my Etsy shop if you want to also use this process to eliminate your debt. And so far from my debt, I only have my student loans from Great Lakes that is left, and I am trying to work those down as aggressively as I can. So if I go ahead, I'm going to write my debts first. My Great Lakes consist of 8 different loans, so I'm going to go ahead and write that. All right, so after I list my loans, I'm gonna go ahead and write out the balances. So from last month, we know that I've paid off Great Lakes 1 through 4. So all of those are still at 0. And as of today, I have now lowered my Great Lakes number 5 to now $807. So the goal for this month is I would really love to eliminate Great Lakes number 5, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to make that goal, but I'm going to aim to try and pay this off by the end of the month. So when it comes to Great Lakes numbers 6, 7, and 8, they are the same as last month. For the debt snowball, if you aren't familiar, the plan is to attack your lowest debt first. So any money that you come across, anything that you can put towards debt, you would put that at your lowest loan and tackle that down until you are now ready to move to the next one, and then to the next one, and to the next one, until eventually it is all done. So for Great Lakes number 6, it is at $3,143. Great Lakes number 7 is $4,940, and Great Lakes number 8 is the same at $4,940. So for a due date, this is always due on the 26th of every month, and since it's all the same, I'm just gonna drag my arrow down. And for a minimum payment, every month I always pay at least $483 towards this. And since that applies for everything, we can just go ahead and drag that down and write $483 for our total. So now what we're going to do is bring out our calculator, and we're going to get a total balance so far to see what I pay for my student loans. All right, so that will give me a grand total of $13,830. We are working this down. I am so excited. I know you guys may be sick of me saying this, but every month I'm just blown away, and I'm just so satisfied to see the numbers go down. But now let me tell you the stress that I've been going through behind the scenes with my Great Lakes. All right, so this has been going on now for about a week and a half. It's finally been resolved, but I wanted to ask if anyone else has been experiencing this, or to at least let people know that this is happening. I can only speak for Great Lakes since that is the student loan that I am handling. So this only refers to Great Lakes. So what happened is, we can look at my debt tracker and we see that I have 8 loans. I paid off 4 loans, and I only had 4 loans with a balance on them, right? So I log into my account one day and I see that I have only 2 loans paid off, and then I have 6 loans with balances still on them. Now, my overall total that I owed was the same, but somehow within the covers, someone has been messing with my loan distribution. And like I said, I'm doing the Debt Snowball Method. So every time I make a payment, I tell my Great Lakes exactly where that loan is going towards. So since I've been doing this, I've been telling it to go to which loan, if it was 1, if it was 2, if it was 3, if it was 4. I've been telling it what's due. So I was confused when I logged on and I saw that now they're all over the place. So of course, I call up Great Lakes and I'm asking what's going on. Why are my loans changing? So apparently someone, I guess the government or whoever is in charge of student loans, are going into people's accounts. And what they told me is that they decided that they looked at my account and they put the money towards the loans with the highest interest. All the loans since I've been paying since January, someone went in there, changed all of my payments that I've been applying towards a loan, and did my payments based on the loans with the highest interest first. So that right there was just like, that's not what I told you guys to do. I told you what loan to go towards for a reason. I don't understand how someone can just go in there and change the plan based on the interest. If I cared about the interest, then I wouldn't be telling it to go to a specific loan. So I tell the person on the phone this problem. I called about 3 times. The first 2 times, the person was like, "Oh, it's in the system. That's what it is." And I'm like, "Ma'am, no. I've been keeping track of these loans for months now. I know I had 4 loans paid off and 4 loans with a balance on them." And she's like, "Well, in the system, it only says that you have 6 loans with a balance and only 2 loans paid off." I'm like, "I know what it says in the system. That's why I'm calling you, because that's wrong." And then she's like, "Well, do you have any evidence? Can you prove that you paid them off?" I'm like, if you look in your system at my payment history, you will see that I told it to go towards a certain loan. And then she's just like, I don't understand. It is what it is. So that's all we see. So I just hung up with her. Whenever I get into a customer service issue like that, I hang up and I call back in hopes that I get somebody that actually knows what they're talking about. So I called back the next day. The person told me the same story. I called back the next day, and then I finally came across somebody who knew what they were talking about. He saw that I've been putting it towards certain loans, and then he told me the story about someone going in and altering the loans based on the lowest interest rate. So I finally told him what loans were paid off and what loans should have balances, because at that point I went back, I did all of my research, I put everything down on a piece of paper, and I told him I did this on this day, this on all the way back to January. I told him all of my changes. So he said he sees that that's what I was doing and that he was going to go in and correct it. Now that process took almost a week to get done. And every day when I logged in to my Great Lakes, my balances were different. And then one day I went in, my balance was up to $20,000. Then my balance was at $16,000. And every time I called, I'm like, "What's going on? Why are my loans going up now?" I was like, "I don't like that. Why are my loans going up?" And they're like, "Oh, someone's fixing it. Oh, someone's fixing it." It kept fluctuating for like a week. And I gave it 2 weeks max, and I said, if they don't have that together, I'm gonna have to call them again and get my loans in order. But finally this weekend it cleared. Everything was where it's supposed to be. I'm back to my 4 loans having no balances and my 4 loans with balances. I don't know who told them I wanted 6 loans. When the loans come back in, why would I want interest on 6 loans when I can have interest on 4 loans? I like gratification seeing that I'm paying off my loans. So when you jump up to 6, I don't like that. But yes, that is my spiel for my student loans. It was very stressful. I was just like, I can't. this is just more motivation for me to get these out of my life because I am just done with all of these loans. So if you have Great Lakes, let me know. Did you see that? Did that happen to you? I didn't even get an email or any notification that someone was doing that. Like, if someone's changing something within my loans, I need to be notified. So that is all I have to say on that. I feel like I rambled on long enough about my experience, but let us proceed in finishing my progress and seeing everything that I've done with my student loans. All right, so now we just have to fill out the bottom to get our percent. So the first thing is last month's debt total. So where I get that information from is I just look at my debt tracker from the month before. So the month before I had $14,993. So that is what I'm going to write here. So next we have last month's payoff total. So that is just the difference between one month and the next. So if we do the 14,993 minus 13,830, that is $1,163 that I was able to put towards my debt for the month of May. So even though May was a tough month for me, I'm actually surprised that I did that much. So claps for me. And now we can do our debt percent paid off. So the way we get this calculation is we look at our starting debt, which was 33099. We subtract that from our remaining balance, so that's 13,830. So we see that is $19,269. So that is how much I've paid off towards my entire debt. Right now, it would be 14 months that I have been doing this. So within 14 months, I paid off over $19,000 of my debt. And then to get our percentage, we would just divide that number by our starting balance. And we see that is 58%. So I've paid off 58% of my debt. But that is just simply how I fill out this worksheet. It keeps me motivated every month. Like I said, seeing your progress actually written down, it really gives you a perspective that you can do this. So after I do my numbers, I do have trackers to visually motivate me to keep going, and it's therapeutic because I love to color. So now we can go ahead and get into that. All right, so we are back with the jar. This jar signifies my entire debt, and it is slowly filling up each month. So when we filled out this paper, we said we were 58% paid off. So we are going to fill in up to 50% for the jar. And let's just go ahead and get started with that. All right, so 58% has now been documented within our sheet. And now we can go ahead and fill out our progress tracker. So our progress tracker is another coloring sheet, but this one is for each individual loan. The front has already been filled out because these are all of the loans or the debts that I have managed to pay off already. But all that's left now is my Great Lakes. So in order to get this, we will bring back out my calculator and fill this out. So down here for Great Lakes, we see the total is $22,802. And as of today, we brought the balance to $13,830. So I've paid off $8,972 worth of my student loans, and I can color up until right here. So the next time we get here, we should be going around to the corner. But for now, let me go ahead and fill in these 4 boxes. All right, so there we go. Made our progress, and again, so satisfying to see it move. But that is all I do for my debt tracker, guys. very simple, and one day it will be completely filled in, and I cannot wait for that day. But that is all I do for my debt tracker and my debt snowball updates. As always, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead, leave a comment down below so we can chat with each other. And if you haven't, go ahead and thumbs up the video, because that really helps and supports the channel, and it lets other people discover me. And while you're at it, go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the family. I really love and appreciate the support. But for now, guys, that's all I have for today's video, and I will see you all next time in my next one. Bye, guys.